thanks for tuning in to the Crush It Trading Recap Show for Thursday, October 3rd, 2024. Crushed it today with $825. The Crush It trade setup took place all over the place on many of the tickers that we trade, and we're going to get into those here in just a second. But do me a favor and click the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, right now would be the perfect time to subscribe. And you can come trade with us Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 11, absolutely free, and learn the Crush It trade strategy. This is a get up and go strategy. Not a lot of fishing for stocks, just trade the strategy and learn how to make some money. All right, the trade of the day was, there it is, NVDA for $825. Now let's get into this trade. So first of all, what I want to get into here is we got two types of trades that we do on the Crush It trade strategy, okay? And the first one we do is what we call the continuation, where the price rides up the Bollinger Bands here. So you see price riding the Bollinger Bands on the 5, and we're not like really deep outside the Bollinger Bands. A lot of times if we're going to play the reversal or the pullback Crush It trade setup, we need to be deep outside the Bollinger Band. So here we're not very deep, so we're riding it up, and then we come over here to the 1, and you can see once we get to the 0.618 level, what we're looking for is an impulsive candle to the upside and a nice retest candle. So that's what I was watching here in NVIDIA, and looking at the 10-second here, also you can see this taking place with this nice retest over here. I didn't get in right here with these impulsive candles to the downside, but I did get in here later on, and we took this all the way up to the Crush It zone. So basically right here, you can see my risk to reward ratio right here. It is a 5 risk to reward ratio, and I was looking to scale right here at the bottom of the Crush It zone, and then the last scale right here. However, with me, I got out a little bit early, but a lot of people in the room traded this all the way up to the top of the Crush It zone and did really, really well. So that's part one of the Crush It trade strategy. Now, you could have gotten this going in the other direction also if you wanted to. And let me show you that one here. And let me get rid of the risk to reward ratio on this. And here is the next one. So that is the reversal or pullback. Now, if I look at the 5 here, we didn't get a clean touch. I like clean touches, but you have to understand sometimes that it won't always be perfect. And in this situation, I have a descending trend line. Now, let me pull this down here real quick so you can take a peek at this on NVIDIA. Here is my daily right here. And you can see that we have a descending trend line right here. And you can see this is today's candle. We have a nice touch on that descending trend line. So let's go back to our lower time frames right here. And you can see that we got nice clean touches on the 5, the 1, and we got it on the 10 second. So, you know, it wasn't necessarily a clean touch on the Crush It zone, but we were in the Crush It zone, but it's always going to maybe gravitate to a more important level if it's really close to like the bottom or the top of the Crush It zone. So hopefully that makes sense to you. And if it doesn't, you know, come trade in the room with us every day and you can learn the strategy and how we work this, and you can, you know, make a little bit of money. So, but anyways, so you would take this down here. Your first scale would be at the bottom of the Crush It zone. You take another scale at the 0.618, and then you would take another scale at the 0.382 right here if you want to. Now, a lot of people don't take that scale. They'll take their last scale at the 0 line. That's totally up to you, but that was a really good Crush It trade strategy also. Now, I want to show you on Apple. We had a setup on Apple right here. A reversal pullback. Now, I didn't take this one, but you could have taken this one also right here at the Crush It zone to the downside. And this one was worth, what was that worth? Yeah, about $2.43. And, you know, you could have also taken it to the upside here as we get into the 0.618 and into the Crush It zone area right here. And so I put the risk rewards in right here for the upside. So you get this impulsive candle right here to the upside. And then we're able to get the retest. Your entry comes in this candle here. Your risk to reward, your stop is right here at this previous impulsive candle. And then we got our first scale here. Now, I wanted to show you the Apple because on the continuation setup, you're not always going to get that, you know, that top scale. Like, you know, you got a 4% chance of getting this high. You have a 12% chance of getting this high. And you have a 50% chance of getting up to the top of the Crush It zone. So I wanted to show you that real quick. Now, they don't always work out, but you can see, you know, the way this one worked out here, you would have had a pretty good gain on that one here, even though you didn't hit your full target on it. All right, let's see where else the Crush It trade setup today, and let's go to the watch list. So, okay, so here we got AMD, same thing. We had, I'm going to go over to the AMD trading page here, and you can see this also. We had a continuation set up here on AMD right here. Nice move to the upside. Retest candle right here at about 950-ish, and then you moved all the way up to the top to the crush it zone there. And then if you would have had trailers, you would have continued, and your risk to reward would have grown all the way up to the 0.2 or the 200%. And that was about a 7.5 risk to reward ratio on that one. And that was a really good trade on AMD. Now your stop would have been below this impulsive candle right here. I would have taken this area right here. Pretty good trade on AMD for the continuation. Now, on the reversal, go back to the watch list here. I would have not taken it. Did reverse on the 0.618, but I would have not taken this because it's just outside of my strategy. But we did have the continuation on AMD. I didn't have anything on Amazon. A nice big, almost injection looking candle right here on Amazon, but we really need the body of the candle to stay inside the Bollinger Bands for it to be a legitimate injection candle. But we did get a nice swing to the upside on Amazon this morning. And then we had Meta, no trade on Meta. Now Microsoft, which is quite spready, had some really good moves today. You can see we're in the crush it zone outside the Bollinger Bands for a nice move to the upside here, and that was worth about $3. And then when we got to the crush it zone on the upside here, you can see that the Bollinger Bands are running horizontal. Now, that is a really good indicator for a move to the downside. Now, obviously, we don't know how far it's going to move to the downside, so that's why we'd be scaling right here at the bottom of the crush it zone, the 0.618, the zero line, and then so forth. Now, you can see how you got this big impulsive candle right here. So a lot of times when you get this break at the zero line, you're going to get a nice big move to the downside to the next crush it zone or the 0.382 level right there. So I would consider that 2 setups on Microsoft today, and we have the 1 setup on AMD. So we're 3 setups so far in the crush it trade. And then we have a continuation setup on Tesla later on in the daytime, right here at the 0.618 level. You can see it comes back to retest here a little bit later on, and a move down to the bottom of the crush it zone. And then the trade that we took today was NVDA right here. And that was 2 setups, 1 continuation and 1 pullback setup. So that was a really good trade. So now what did we have here? We had, we had Apple for 1, we had AMD for 1, we had Tesla for 1, we had Microsoft for 2, we had NVIDIA for 2. So we had 7 setups today. Now, you're not going to get in on all the setups, but, if you missed one and you didn't get in, don't worry about it. Let it go. If you're getting in late or something happened and you just missed it, let it go, because you can see it happen 7 times today. And if you want to sit here and trade all day long, you certainly can trade the setup, and you can get another opportunity. So that's it. That is the crush it trade strategy. So if you want to learn this and learn how to make some good money trading the crush it trade strategy, come trade with us Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 11, and you can learn it too. All right. Take care. Have a good night. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.